Hey guys, here's another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Shinkalion 500 Kodama Jinky form from Shinkalion Change the World. This is a 500 series Shinkansen that can transform into a robot as well as a supporting vehicle that I can combine with it. Included in the set are the Shinkalion 500 Kodama, the Erda type Jinky, and a set of combination parts. So, let's get started. First up, we'll take a look at the Shinkalion 500 Kodama in train mode. So this is a 500 series Shinkansen that operates on JR West's Kodama service and runs on the Sanyo line from Shin Osaka to Hakata. This one can also reach a top speed of 177 miles per hour. And this one stands out from all the other Shinkansen we've looked at so far in that it uses mainly a gray base color instead of white. It also has this nice blue along the top and the sides, with some dark gray for the windows. Got JR West Japan 500 typographed onto the sides. You can see it has a rather narrow and also kind of unevenly designed cockpit, and this is true to real life. Now, a fun fact about the 500 series is that it has had some special paint jobs, specifically ones based on Eva Unit 01 from Neon Genesis Evangelion, as well as Hello Kitty, both of which were used in the previous season of Shinkalion, Shinkalion Z. Of course, doing all pretty well on its wheels. It also has a set of combination parts that can be plugged onto the back. Next, we'll take a look at the Erda type Jinky. Now, Jinky translates roughly to man-machine, and this is perhaps one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting, of the Erda vehicles. And it actually does have a basis in real life. This is based on a machine that or rather Japan Railways, developed last year called the Zero type Jinky, which is essentially a mounted humanoid robot that can be used for railway maintenance. It does look somewhat similar to this, though obviously more detailed. And essentially, a pilot will operate in the cockpit in down the lower section. Then using special controls and cameras, they'll see what the robot sees, and then can use the robot to operate and maintain various parts of the railways. Now, this one is technically a retool of the Erda top lifter, but not by too much. So you can see the robot part up here with various stickers. It does have some movable arms. It comes all the way down to the nice blue body with various pieces, including some pieces attached to the side. Though it does change things up in terms of the wheels, in that instead of having 4 wheels at the front and 2 in the back, it just has 2 large wheels at the front and 2 smaller ones at the back. But still can roll around, and thankfully, due to the weight back here, it does maintain its balance quite well. After that, we can get to the transformation, and like usual, I've pre-prepped the arms and legs, so we can just take a look at the body. So for this, we're going to lift up the canopy, and fold back this piece. Fold down the legs to fold up the head, rotate it, click it into place. Fold in this part of the canopy and then fold it down. Rotate the head forward. Splay open the hips a little bit. Attach the legs and the arms. And here we have the Shinkalion 500 Kodama. So let's take a closer look. Starting from the head, this one immediately stands out from basically all of the other Shinkalion thus far, in that it is, so far, the first one, well, the first heroic Shinkalion to not have a flip-up horn. Instead, has more of a V crest up top, and is a design pre-reminiscent of the cockpit, as it does have the blue up top and then the gray down the bottom. You got the eyes in there. It does have a pretty aerodynamic look to it. Of course, we have the compressed chest on the front, we got the shoulder pads, have unique designs for the stickers on the arms and legs. And interestingly, it has this sort of powder blue color for the main body, which stands out from theirs as well. It even stands out going down to the feet, where it has these unique metallic steel blue toes, which is a color not seen on any other Shinkalion. Following that, we can now combine Shinkalion 500 Kodama with the air-dead type Jinky. To start, we'll get to the parts that are similar to toplifter form. To remove these pieces. Here we can take this piece off, split this in half, and we'll plug in the waist armor, and take off the legs. Then for these, we're going to fold down the back wheel, rotate down the foot, do the same on the other side. The new legs will plug into the body. We'll set that aside for now, so we can focus on these. So starting with the robot part of the Jinky, we're going to first unplug this piece, rotate it like so, and then unplug this from here. And coming around to this, and position these two pieces like so, and then using this peg, we're going to plug it onto the right arm. Then here's where things get pretty interesting. So first of all, using the remaining pieces, we're going to plug these into the side of the main pole. Going to fold up the legs. And fold in these side panels, so we can plug them back in. And we're going to bring in the combination parts, and for the first time we're actually going to be using all of them. So to start, we'll separate these two pieces. Take this and rotate this piece all the way around, which will then plug into the combined legs. Then take the shield piece off of the SRG fist and rotate the handguard around, which will then use to plug this back in like that. And it'll plug into there. And taking this piece, we're going to plug this in the back of the hand. And finally, we're going to take the hand, and using these two pegs, we're going to plug them into these two holes here and here. Yeah. Just like this. And here we have the Shinkalion 500 Kodama Jinky form. So let's take a look. With this, we definitely have probably the craziest of the vehicle combinations, since it's literally armed with this giant weapon that's taller than the Shinkalion itself. So in this form, it has the Jinky hand on the right arm, which then holds the dynamic GIGASPANNER. And yeah, it definitely does need this base here so it can balance itself, as this thing is very heavy, and the actual arm of the Shinkalion can't exactly hold it up too well. But it's also good that this is a retool, or partial retool, of the air to top lifter, since it does have the extra heel support in the back. And besides just equipping it in the hand, you can remove it to have the Jinky hand on its own. And what you can do is you can take this lower hole here and use that to plug it onto the back. And once again, this is very much where the extra shield support comes in handy, because if it weren't for that, this would absolutely fall over. But it does make for a very unique combination, and certainly one that stands out from the others. Additionally, we can take the iterative vehicle from 500 Kodama and give it to another Shinkalion and then swap that one with it. So, for example, here we have the Shinkalion 500 Kodama Fairy form and Shinkalion N700S Kamome Jinky form. With this combination, we now give Kodama a more streamlined and quick type of formation. Meanwhile, Kamome now gets the giant weapon, as well as the extra support. It is kind of interesting because with these two, it definitely feels like their iterative vehicles are specifically made for them. So it's kind of interesting to see what happens when you swap that around. And you do get that kind of red-blue contrast for both of them. And finally, we can combine Shinkalion 500 Kodama with two other Shinkalion to form Shinkalion SRG. And in this case, I've, as an example, combined it with Shinkalion N700S Nozomi and Shinkalion N700S Kamome to form Shinkalion SRG 500 N700S N700S. So in terms of using the Kodama for SRG combinations, I think it pretty much only works well as a center, because due to it having the mostly gray color, it doesn't really balance too well with any of the others, since they mostly use white for the baits, especially for the joints and such. But this is an example of what I think is a pretty balanced combination, since it also uses the two N700S series, which have a very similar body shape. Or rather, which have the same body shape, but kind of different decos. Now for this, we can also make a special weapon using the iterative Jinky, so we're going to start with the main body. Separate that out from there. And form the hand. I'm going to take this peg here and plug it into this hole on the end. Like that. And we'll take these two pieces, and you can see there's little divots in here. These are going to fit onto the upper fingers. To form a bigger claw. And so to equip this, we're going to take one of the arms. You can see I already have this piece folded down, which is what we're going to be using. To plug it into there. So now it has a sort of underhand claw weapon. Now admittedly, how well it can use this does kind of depend on the strength of the joints, since essentially it does to some degree weigh down the arm. But on a conceptual level, it is a pretty interesting weapon. Let's give you one better look like that. And there we go. So for what is the last of the sets to feature a Shinkalion and an iterative vehicle, it's clear that Takara and Tony wanted to make a big impact with their last combo pack, and they certainly have. Both for how the included iterative vehicle is based on a new and very revolutionary piece of technology that will definitely assist and aid the Japan railway industry, as well as the combination and how it features this, big giant weapon that does stand out a lot from the other combinations. Now, what I'd say is the drawback to this is that because of the size and weight of the dynamic GIGASPANNER, it does somewhat limit the posability of the Shinkalion in this form, as you know, if you don't have it posed right, it will kind of just pull down the arm. But if you want to give it a bit more posability, you do have the option to store the weapon on the back, and as I showed, if you pose it right, it can still keep said weapon on its back thanks to having that extra heel support. And of course you get all the other benefits of a Shinkalion with how you can use any of your air vehicles. With this one you can use this air vehicle on any of your other Shinkalions, and you can use it to form SRG combinations. So this is a Shinkalion set I definitely recommend picking up. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Rastam Gear and Vram Breaker Kamen Rider Vram Perfect Set. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KR50, riding off.